tikulandireni chigawo chino chamasana pompano pa Parliament Broadcasting pomwe tikupitiriza kupatsirani zokambirana za phungu kuno ku nyumba ya malamulo. Kummawaku nyumba ya malamulo yakambirana ndi kuvomereza mabilu atatu ndipo masanawa tikuyembekeza kuti aphungu apitiriza zokambirana zawo ndi bill number 20 ya 2026 ya Economic Society of Malawi mwazina. Tiye tikhale limodzi. Welcome back to our live afternoon coverage of the third meeting of Parliament in the 52nd session. Earlier, the House deliberated on and passed 3 bills. We expect the House to continue its deliberations with Bill number 20 of 2026, Economic Society of Malawi, among others. My name is Rachel Gonani. Stay tuned for the afternoon deliberations.
welcome back, honourable members. It's good to see the people of Zomba Malosa in the house. Good to see you. And the Rumpi East, good to see you. And all honour members, Lilongwe Ngwenya, good to see you. Lilongwe Site Ngwenya, good to see you. Leader, I see you.
Right Honorable Speaker, we are so happy to see you, Deputy Speaker, First Deputy Speaker. Actually, tukalima kumunda kwanu mawa.
All microphones are switching on their own. You are very lucky that all microphones are just switching on their own. And the leader, we see you on the floor.
Thank you very much, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. The House appears delighted to see you this afternoon. So welcome. We will continue with government business for bills. And now we'll handle bill number 4. So bill number 20, Roman numeral 4 of 2026, Economic Association of Malawi. I submit, Mr. First Deputy Speaker.
Item 4B, bills, first reading, bill number 20 of 2026, Economic Society of Malawi.
Thank you very much, Leader. Honour Minister of Finance, this bill, as the other bills, has satisfied the 7-day rule, but the 28-day notice. Can we request a waiver from your office? Honour Minister of Finance, you have the floor, Honour Minister of Finance, for the waiver. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. I beg to move that all the relevant standing orders be waived to allow me to present Bill number 20 of 2026, a SOMA establishment. This bill, as we have said, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, it has met the minimum number of days, 7 days, but it has not met the 28-day requirement. I therefore want to kindly beg to move that all the relevant standing order be waived to allow me to present this very important bill. This bill is very important as it does seek the establishment of Economic Society of Malawi, which the society was not properly organized, and we would want this bill in order to safeguard the public interest of the profession, and also to improve professional accountability, and that there must be sound economic governance in this country. I therefore beg to move.
Thank you very much, Honour Minister. Honour members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is the Honour Minister to request the House to waive all relevant standing orders, to allow a waiver on the 28-day notice, so that Bill number 20 of 2026, Economics Association of Malawi, should be presented. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried.
Item 4B, government business, bills, second reading, bill number 20 of 2026, Economic Society of Malawi.
Thank you very much. Honour Minister, second reading when?
Mr. Second Deputy Speaker, today and now.
Thank you very much, honour members. We have a motion on the floor. Is that second reading of Bill number 20 of 2026 should be taken today and now. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Honour Minister, for the second reading speech.
Mr. Speaker, sir, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that the Economic Society of Malawi, ESOMA, Bill 2026 be read a second time. Mr. Second Deputy Speaker, the bill before this August House seeks to establish the Economic Society of Malawi, ESOMA, as a statutory body corporate responsible for registration, regulation, and discipline of economists in Malawi, as well as the promotion and development of the economics profession. The bill further provides for matters connected with the governance, financing, and administration of the society, and for the transition from the existing Economics Association of Malawi to the new statutory body. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, economists play a very critical role in shaping Malawi's development. They contribute to the formulation of fiscal and monetary policies, national development planning, public finance management, investment planning, private sector development, trade policy, labor market analysis, poverty reduction strategies, and evidence-based decision-making across government and the private sector. Their work directly influences the quality of public policy and the efficient allocation of scarce resources, and ultimately the welfare of our citizens. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, despite the growing importance of the economics profession, Malawi currently does not have a statutory framework for regulating professional economists, and for many years the profession has been represented by Economics Association of Malawi, which was established as a public trust under the Trustees Incorporation Act. While ECAMA has made significant contribution towards promoting economics as a profession, its legal status as a voluntary association has limited its mandate to regulate professional practice, register economists, and enforce professional standards and ethics. Consequently, the economics profession has remained largely self-organized without statutory regulatory framework. This bill therefore seeks to address this institutional gap by establishing a self-governing and self-regulating profession body with clearly defined legal powers and responsibilities. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, it becomes demeaning for people that have not even gone to college to call themselves economists. We hear in the social media, we hear in the social media people commenting on economists, and their arguments do not even follow economics. So it becomes difficult for economists to argue with such people. We want to ensure that when we say he's an economist, he's indeed an economist that can be relied upon. So, Mr. Speaker, sir, as I've said, this bill is addressing the institutional gap by establishing a self-governing and self-regulating professional body with clearly defined legal powers and responsibilities. Mr. Speaker, sir, the establishment of Economic Society of Malawi, ESOMA, represents an important milestone in strengthening professional standards within the economics profession, similar to other regulatory professions such as law, medicine, engineering, and accountants. Economists provide professional services that significantly influence public policy, economic management, and private sector decision-making. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, some of us were envious of lawyers, as I've said, lawyers, auditors, accountants, well organized, but for the economics society or the economics discipline was not organized. It is therefore appropriate that the profession should operate within a legal framework that promotes competence, accountability, ethical conduct, and continuous professional development. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, the bill establishes the Society, Economic Society of Malawi. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I need protection somewhat.
Honourable members, both sides of the House, more to my right, order. The Honourable Minister is on the floor. Let's listen.
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, the bill establishes Economic Society of Malawi as the sole authority responsible for registration, regulation, and discipline of economists in Malawi. Beyond registration, the Society will promote advancement of economics as both as an academic discipline and as a profession. Its job will be to facilitate continuing professional development, encourage policy dialogue on national economic issues, and also promote homegrown economic solutions, and be able to contribute to the curriculum development, organize professional training, uphold ethical standards, and mobilize resources for research, and collaborate with national and international institutions in advancing the profession. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, the bill also provides for sound governance arrangements for the society. It establishes 3 principal organs, namely the General Assembly, the Executive Committee, and the Secretariat, with clearly defined functions and responsibilities to ensure transparency, accountability, and effective management of the society's affairs. It further provides for prudent financial management, including the preparation of annual budgets, maintenance of proper accounts, and annual audits. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, recognizing the importance of maintaining public confidence in the profession, the bill also introduces a comprehensive framework for registration of economists and the regulation of professional practice. It establishes different categories of membership, prescribes eligibility or requirements for registration. It provides for the annual licensing. It also provides for annual licensing, and it creates a mechanism for suspension Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir. Mr. Speaker, sir, I was saying that this association, this society, The Economic Society of Malawi establishes different categories of membership. It prescribes eligibility requirements for registration. It provides for annual licensing, and it creates a mechanism for suspension or cancellation of registration where necessary. And the bill also further establishes disciplinary procedures to address professional misconduct, and it creates offenses for unlawful practice and misuse of professional titles. Because we know there are some people that are calling themselves doctors in economics when they are not. We want them to come to the rightful place. These provisions, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, are intended to protect both the integrity of the profession and the public interest. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, the enactment of this bill will generate important benefits for Malawi because it is going to enhance professionalism and ethical standards among economists. It also strengthens the quality and the credibility of economic analysis and advice. It also promotes continuing professional development, encourage innovation and research, and foster great collaboration between government, the academia, the private sector, civil society, and development partners. Ultimately, these improvements will contribute to better informed economic policies and stronger institutional capacity for national development planning. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, this bill also supports the government's broader agenda of strengthening institutions and promoting evidence-based policy formulation in pursuit of Malawi's long-term development aspirations. As our economy becomes increasingly complex and interconnected, there is an even greater need for a well-regulated and professionally competent body of economists capable of providing sound analysis and innovative solutions to the emerging economic challenges. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, it is important to emphasize that this bill does not seek merely to establish another institution. Rather, it seeks to create an enabling legal framework that will strengthen the economics profession in Malawi, safeguard the public interest, improve professional accountability, and contribute to sound economic governance. It also recognizes the critical role that economists play in supporting sustainable economic growth, macroeconomic stability, and the national transformation. Mr. Speaker, sir, I therefore urge the August House to support this very important bill. The Economic Society of Malawi ESOMA, Bill 2026. The enactment of this bill, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, will mark a very important step towards strengthening professional standards, enhancing equality of economic policy advice, and supporting Malawi's development agenda. Mr. Speaker, sir, I beg to move that the House discusses this bill, and it is my sincere hope that it will pass. Thank you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Honourable members, I am only joining this afternoon. I'm being tempted to request the honourable member for Lilongwe Likuni to share his excitement, because for the first time I see him rising and clapping hands. Honourable members, I therefore recognize the honourable spokesperson for the opposition, Malawi Congress Party, honourable member for Lilongwe, Doa Mpuzu. Doa Mpuzu, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you so much, First Deputy Speaker. On behalf of the Malawi Congress Party, I rise to state our position on Bill number 20 of 2026, the Economic Society of Malawi Bill. Mr. Speaker, let me start with where we agree with the bill. Indeed, Malawi needs a strong and credible professional body of economics at a time where we are sailing with lots of challenges in terms of forex shortages, high inflation, and debt. Mr. Speaker, we need evidence, research, well-researched solutions, not guesswork. We need data, not politics. For that reason, the Malawi Congress Party supports the principle of this bill. The establishment of a professional body of economics in Malawi deserves recognition. Mr. Speaker, the MCP notes with satisfaction that this bill will now regulate members of ISOMA, credible members. That is the right model, a voluntary membership, but keeping professional standards and ethics. Mr. Speaker, sir, First Deputy Speaker, to pass a perfect law, we must speak honestly, and clarity is required in the following clauses. The offense clauses, clause 37 and 38, reference. Mr. Speaker, we agree no one should pretend to be a registered SOMA economist. This protects the public, but Mr. Speaker, the law must be precise so it is not abused. Clause 37 criminalizes reserved acts, but lists none in this bill. And clause 38 criminalizes misuse of protected titles, but lists none. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, will a journalist be arrested for calling himself an economic commentator? Will a consultant be arrested for economic analysis? Clarify so that these do not restrict qualified persons just because they are not members of ISOMA. Our proposal, let's list protected titles in a schedule, require proof of intent to deceive, and issue warnings before prosecutions. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, if a SOMA is going to grow the profession, it must be affordable. If the fees and the CPDs are too high, we exclude the very people that we want. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, we have graduates in Palombe, Karonga, Dedza, earning around 250,000. They cannot pay the same fees as a consultant billing in dollars. We therefore ask the Minister to commit that regulations will provide for graduated fees for public servants, students, rural-based economists, and waivers for the new graduates that just come out of colleges. We also request the minister to consider a flexible CPD online options so that an economist in Chitipa is not forced to travel to Lilongwe to conduct his CPDs. Mr. Speaker, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, beyond the clauses, what do we want a SOMA to become as MCP? Firstly, a SOMA must be Malawi's think tank. When there is a crisis, government, media, and citizens should call a SOMA first for non-partisan, data-driven answers. Secondly, ISOMA must be the trainer. Through the CPDs and the partnership with UNIMA, MAST, Luana, so that in 10 years, the chief economist at RBM and the budget director are both ISOMA members. Thirdly, ISOMA must be a standard setter, not just the gatekeeper. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, we don't want a law that says only ISOMA members can be economists. We want a culture where employers say we prefer ISOMA members because they are the best. In conclusion, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, let us pass a law that builds economists, not bureaucrats. A law that grows ideas, not fear. A law that makes Malawi richer in expertise. For these reasons, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, the Malawi Congress Party supports the Economic Society of Malawi Bill 2026. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I did pronounce this as an association. In the order paper, honorable colleagues, we have made a correction. It's Economics Society of Malawi, not association. It's Society of Malawi. I would like everyone to notice that correction. Honourable members, this being the last bill for today, I will use my discretion to recognize the honourable member from Mwanza Central to make your submission. Thank you.
Thank you very much, First Deputy Speaker, for your consideration. Indeed, this is a very important bill, Bill number 20 of 2026, the Economic Society of Malawi Bill. Let me state that I support the principle behind this bill. The regulation of professions is a recognized tool for promoting competence, ethical conduct, and public confidence. Economics is no exception, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. Economists influence decisions on taxation, public debt, inflation, exchange rate management, investment, fiscal policy, and national development. It is therefore reasonable that the profession should operate within a legal framework that promotes accountability and professionalism. The bill seeks to establish the Economic Society of Malawi as the statutory body responsible for registration, regulation, and discipline of economists in Malawi, replacing the current voluntary arrangement under the Economic Association of Malawi. It further seeks to promote professional development, research, policy dialogue, and ethical conduct amongst economists. These are the commendable objectives, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. First Deputy Speaker, as a country's economic fortunes are not determined by natural resources alone, but by the quality of its institutions and the competence of those entrusted with managing the economy. Poor economic advice has consequences, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. It leads to unsustainable public debt, persistent inflation, exchange rate instability, poor investment decisions, unemployment, and declining living standards. We have a big list of examples, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. Sound economic advice, on the other hand, promotes macroeconomic stability, investor confidence, and sustainable growth. First Deputy Speaker, for this reason, establishing a professional standards for economists is an investment in a better public policy. However, while I support the bill, there are several areas where Parliament should strengthen it before it becomes law. First, the definition of an economist. It is unnecessarily restrictive. I think we need clarification from the minister. The bill limits registration primarily to holders of degrees in economics and applied economics. In the modern economics, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, we have other professionals with recognized qualifications in agricultural economics, development economics, econometrics, and public policy with economics who make significant contribution to the economic policy of research. Restricting the profession in this manner risks excluding highly competent practitioners without any correspondent public benefit. Parliament should therefore broaden the definition to include recognized economics-related qualifications. Second, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I'm concerned by the concentration of regulatory powers in the executive. There, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, the minister maybe can give us more details. The same body approves registration, appoints executive directors, constitutes disciplinary committees, and reviews disciplinary decisions. While administrative efficiency is important, good governance demands institutional checks and balances. The concentration of investigative, disciplinary, and appellate powers within one institution may create a perception of bias and weak public confidence. An independent disciplinary appeals mechanism would better safeguard procedural fairness with preserving the society's authority. Third, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, is Section 4 that makes the society the sole authority responsible for regulating economists in Malawi. While professional regulation requires exclusivity in some respects, monopoly powers must always be exercised with accountability. Every statutory regulator must operate within clear limits, remain transparent, and be subject to effective oversight. Parliament should therefore strengthen the provisions relating to accountability and external review to prevent arbitrary decision-making. Fourth and lastly, First Deputy Speaker, the governance structure of the society is composed entirely of members of the profession. Yet economists advise government, financial institutions, development partners, businesses, and the public. Decisions made by the society will therefore affect a much wider constituency than economists alone. It would strengthen public confidence if the governance structure incorporated independent representation from academia, the private sector, or other relevant public interested institutions. With these remarks, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, as UTM, we support this bill. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I therefore recognize the chairperson of the Joint Committee to share their findings with the House. Chairperson, you can come to the podium. Thank you. The gadget, the same way you're using your gadget, switch the microphone at the corner To your left, you're
Yeah,
good,
but-
chairperson, to go.
Ah, okay.
You're
I
good to
thought
go.
I would need the password. So
No, that's not your personal gadget.
thank you.
That belongs to the secretariat.
Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, I rise on behalf of the Joint Committees of Budget and Legal Affairs to present an analysis of Bill number 20 of 2026, Economic Society of Malawi, SOMA, which was referred to the committee for consideration by the Clerk of Parliament in accordance with our Standing Order 125 subsection 3. And First Deputy Speaker, our analysis has been thorough, looking at the bill clause by clause and the proposed provisions therein. Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, the Economic Society of Malawi Bill seeks to establish an Economic Society of Malawi as a statutory professional body responsible for the registration, regulation, and discipline of economists in Malawi. The bill also seeks to promote professionalism, uphold ethical standards, provide for continuing professional development, and facilitate the transition from the current voluntary professional association, the Economics Association of Malawi, ECAMA, to a statutory regulatory body. Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, this bill has followed a unique legislative journey. During its initial consideration by the Joint Committee, honorable members raised several legal, policy, and drafting concerns relating to the proposed regulatory framework, and among the issues raised were the definition of an economist, the proposal to regulate the practice of economists, and the annual licensing framework, the registration criteria, the governance structure of the proposed society, and the scope of the offense provisions. The committee therefore requested ECAMA then to revisit the draft legislation in light of the observations made by the members of Parliament. The bill before this House now demonstrates that the ECAMA gave due consideration to the concerns raised by the committee. The committee is pleased to note that a number of significant changes have since been incorporated into the bill. Most notably, the bill no longer seeks to regulate the practice of economics as a closed profession. Instead, it establishes a statutory framework for the registration, regulation, and discipline of members of the Economic Society of Malawi, and the bill has also broadened the definition of an economist to recognize qualifications in both the actual economics and also applied economics refined in the registration framework, strengthened procedural safeguards in disciplinary proceedings, and has narrowed the offense provisions so that they protect the integrity of statutory registration rather than criminalizing the practice of economics. By broadening the definition of an economist to now include applied economics, whether you got it at Bunda or whether you got it at any other institution, as long as its economics are be applied, you are an economist. And we hope this addresses the concerns that were raised by the UTM. The committee considers these changes to be significant improvement over the earlier draft and commends ECAMA for their willingness to engage with the observations that were made by members of Parliament. The key observations by the committee, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, the above notwithstanding, the committee also identified a few provisions that in its considered view still require some emphasis. Firstly, the committee observed that although the revised bill removed the concept of practicing economist and the offense of practicing without registration, it nevertheless retained the annual licensing regime under clause 29. In the considered view of the committee, all economists in the country would be required to register with the society, and they be issued with a registration certificate. But the issue of licensing is thus not mandatory, but still required for those who want to enjoy some specific benefits, which will have to be clearly outlined in the guidelines. The committee insists that having a registration certificate should be enough for one to be recognized and acknowledged as an economist, because to obtain such, due diligence will have been done by a SOMA. This notwithstanding, the committee acknowledges that for prestige and other special benefits, as the guidelines would highlight, the issue of licensing would still be relevant. Secondly, the committee noted that clause number 37C creates an offense in respect of acts reserved by the Act for registered economists or body corporates. In the committee's view, this provision protects registered members of a SOMA from any other imposter who would irregularly be performing acts in the name of being an economist when in true fact he is a plumber. The committee welcomes this development and it must be interpreted as such. Mr. Speaker, sir, these observations do not detract from the overall objective of the bill. Rather, they are intended to improve its clarity, internal consistency, and enforceability. The committee is satisfied that the bill provides a sound legislative framework for the establishment and regulation of the Economic Society of Malawi as a statutory professional body. Allow me, before I conclude, to commend the Minister of Finance and the technocrats for their willingness to revisit the bill and accommodate the concerns expressed by the honorable members of this House. This demonstrates the value of parliamentary scrutiny in strengthening legislation. With these remarks, I hereby submit the report of the Joint Committee of Legal Affairs and the budget on Bill number 20 of 2026 for the adoption of this House. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Chairperson of the Joint Committee, for the presentation. Honour members, I'm looking at a seconder. Honourable Member for Lilongwe City. You are seconding. Honourable Member for Lilongwe City, Mbuka. You are seconding, and you have the floor for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, for granting me the floor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. I'm good to see you.
Thank you. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I rise to second the motion that this House adopts the report for the Joint Committee on Budget and Finance and Legal Affairs on the Economics Society of Malawi Bill 2026. The committee undertook a detailed review of both the original and the final versions of the bill and is satisfied that the ICAMA has substantially addressed the concerns previously raised by the honorable members. The House might wish to note that one of the principal concerns raised by the Joint Committee during the consideration of the earlier draft related to the proposed regulation of the practice of economics. Members questioned whether economics should be treated as a closed profession in the same manner as law or medicine, and sought clarification on what would constitute the practice of economics. The committee was of the view that the bill should regulate membership of the professional body without unnecessarily restricting the ability of qualified persons to work in economics-related fields. The committee also notes with satisfaction that the revised bill substantially addressed these concerns. In particular, references practicing economists have largely been removed, and the emphasis has shifted towards the registration, regulation, and discipline of members of the society. Similarly, the offense of unlawful practice as an economist has been replaced with an offense relating to holding oneself out as a registered economist, thereby narrowing the scope of criminal liability to misrepresentation rather than general practice of economics. The committee considers these provisions to represent a significant improvement in the policy direction of the bill. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, I therefore urge honorable members to support the adoption of the committee's report so that the House may proceed to consider the bill together with the amendments recommended by the committee.
Thank you very much. Leader, I don't know what food you are distributing at lunchtime for your backbenchers. Leader, you are giving them enough food, because the energy of delivering the speeches from this side are very tempting to find out what is happening in our house. But thank you very much, Honourable Member for Lilongwe City Mbuka, for the way you've delivered that statement, and congratulations to you, because the statement was defined with eager and energy. We love that flow of debating in the House. Honourable members, we have now opened debate. I will recognize the honourable member for Kasungu South first, and then we'll go to Mulanje West. Kasungu South, then Mulanje West. You have the floor, sir.
Thank you very much, First Deputy Speaker, for recognizing people of Kasungu Southeast to contribute to the discussion. People of Kasungu Southeast do support the bill, but I think with one critical observation. I feel that there is a confusion between registration and licensing. Registration entails that when you go into a class, you are educated, you obtain a qualification. From that qualification, you can be registered as a member of the association. But for you to practice, you must be licensed. But if you look at the two, we are saying you can only register, but you can choose to have a license. Because when you misbehave, there is a misconduct. What is withdrawn is a license. Because nobody can withdraw your academic qualification, which makes you to be a registered member. So I feel the way we are using the terms registration and licensing, there is a little bit of confusion. Because the registration comes from your qualification. Licensing comes from your practice. So for example, when I'm practicing and there is a misconduct, then obviously I need to be, the license needs to be withdrawn. It's the same way you do on the road. When you misbehave, they can withdraw your driver's license. So what gives you power to perform is the license. So what I'm saying is, these are matters which in the future, they need to be considered. But you cannot have only one, you need to have both. The registration because of your qualification, and the licensing because of your standing in society. So people of Kasungu Southeast do fully support the bill, but in the future, we need to consider the issues of registration and licensing. I submit. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honour Member, for indeed making that clarification. Honour Member, we love your debate. Even in medicine, you qualify as a doctor, but you have to register with the Medical Council of Malawi for you to practice medicine in any institution. So when you misbehave, it's the Medical Council that punishes you by withdrawing their registration. But you can move to Mozambique with your doctorate degree and practice in Mozambique when you are banned to practice in Malawi. So I just wanted to agree with you. Honour members, Mulanje West for debate on the report, and then we will wind up. Then the rest will debate on the bill. So the rest that are remaining will debate on the bill.
Thank you so much, the Right Honourable First Deputy Speaker, for giving me the floor to comment on this bill. The Right Honourable First Deputy Speaker, the bill speaks on its own and it's well elaborated. When you look on part 1 to part 8, they're explaining what it takes for one to be a registered economist. I only have 3 reasons. One, we need to respect those who've gone in the corridor of education. If you just have any person just walk out and say, I'm an economist without even going into a classroom, it pains. So this is a very good bill whereby we are also honoring those people who've gone to school, they've studied, they've sweated for them to have the papers of being economists. The second one is, it's important that we need to register the economists so that we should not just allow any person to undertake the work or consultants if they are not registered. It's just abusing and undermining those who are supposed to take the responsibility. The third one, the first deputy speaker, is to make sure that each and every person who is registered is indeed an economist who've done that, who've gone to school, because some of them, they've been employed without even having the certificate, without even going into the corridor of education, without even being recognized as economists, leaving out those who've gone to school without even having or acquiring any job. So when we seek a government looking forward to register, to have this bill that each and every economist is supposed to be registered, it's a welcome idea and we support that. I stand here to support the Minister of Finance that we need to do that. And this bill was supposed to come even yesterday, so that we need to recognize and we need to register those and respect those who've gone to school, so that there should be the very same people who are supposed to be getting employed than those who are just getting employed without even having the papers. And even those who will be commenting according to the parts 1 to 8, what they're talking about, and they've got also to go through all those and even be punished if they're not even doing the rightful work. So I support the bill as I see it, the First Deputy Speaker. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Leader, curtailment, Deputy Leader, curtailment of debate on the report by the committee.
Mr.
First Deputy Speaker, having noted the consensus so far from both sides of the House, I would want to move a motion that the House curtails debate to allow the chairperson of the joint committee to wind up. I beg to move.
Thank you very much. Honourable members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is for the curtailment of debate on the report by the chairperson of the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Bill number 20 of 2026, Economic Society of Malawi, for the chairperson to wind up. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it. The motion is carried. Chairperson.
Thank you, Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker. There were two comments on the floor, but let me try to address Kasungu Southeast first. Let me agree with the Honorable Member for Kasungu Southeast for the observation that is made vis-a-vis registration and licensing. It formed a significant part of our discussions, deliberations at the committee. And what the House should know is that unlike maybe accounting or engineering, economics can be taken as a discipline. So we're trying to treat a discipline as a profession. That said, you do not want to exclude young people that have just graduated from UNIMA, from Luana and other universities, who may not really reach the level of the annual licensing fee. So those ones are still economists. They are still entitled to get a job, whether in government or elsewhere, and just work as a member of a SOMA, properly regulated by the ethics and the conduct of a SOMA, without necessarily being pushed to have, in quotes, a practicing license, which calls for annual subscription. So the registration is free, as long as you've walked through the corridors of a university, as Mulanje West did allude to. You've walked in the corridors of a university, you are an economist by virtue of the degree that has been conferred to you, whether applied or the economist degree or applied economist degree. You are an economist. You are entitled to work as an economist. And because a SOMA is your mother body, you can go there, voluntarily register and be their member. That's the exception that the committee recommended. But then if you want to start taking some consultancies and become the specialized economist that has been alluded to, maybe you're trying to do some baseline surveys for UNDP or for other institutions, or you want to give your professional advice as an economist, then you have another tier of membership that will now require licensing. If this House wants to make licensing mandatory, you'll be excluding a lot of young graduates who have really done their degree, but they don't have the financial means to be forced into the annual subscription. And lastly, Right Honorable Deputy Speaker, I would give you an example even on the accounting profession, where you would be a chartered accountant and just choose to be a politician, and without any need to have an annual license as a practicing firm. Honorable Gwengwe Chartered Accountants, I can choose not to have the annual licensing, but still be a member and still be a chartered accountant, so to speak. So we've deliberately delinked the two because we are dealing with a discipline and not a pure profession like engineering or accounting or the other bodies. It is a compromise we had to reach to include the young people, the young graduates working in government and elsewhere. Having said that, Right Honorable First Deputy Speaker, I would want to beg that the report as presented by the committees of Budget and Legal Affairs be now adopted by the whole House. I beg to move.
Thank you very much, honourable members. We have a motion on the floor. The motion is that the report of the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Budget, Budget and Finance and Legal Affairs on Bill number 20 of 2026, Economic Society of Malawi, be adopted by this House. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried. And the report has been adopted. Deputy Leader.
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, at this juncture, when I look around, there is consensus, and the consensus is I move a motion to allow the Honorable Minister, I move a motion that the House curtails the debate to allow the Honorable Minister of Finance wind up on the bill. I beg to move.
Honourable members, we have a motion on the floor.
Let me register my excitement that the August House supports this bill. As I've said, this bill is very important because it will regulate. It will also help us that when you employ an economist, a registered economist, you will know that you're going to get value for your money. And also that we will be more organized like the other disciplines or other professions, like the lawyers, doctors, accountants, and auditors. So, Mr. First Speaker, I'll tell you that today, to some of us, is a historic day, because we are indeed worried that people that have never seen college, university, they were calling themselves economists, and we are arguing with us. It was difficult for us to be arguing with somebody who we think is not an economist. So this, I want to say that, and I'm sure my fellow economists in this August House, and also outside, we are happy with this bill. Let me also that I think there are issues that were, I think there were concerns that were raised by the joint committees of budget and finance, as well as the legal affairs. I'm happy that you are also happy that we incorporated all the comments that you made. That's why today you are recommending that this bill needs to be approved. I think there was a comment, that we need to have, I think in the regulation, I think we need certain things that we need to clarify. For example, we need to have a list of schedules. I think you need to mention about it, that I think we need to have it, and we will have it. I want to assure you, and you mentioned about affordable fees. You talked about flexible CPDs that are online. You also said that a SOMA should be a train as well, and it should set the standards and not to be a gatekeeper. I remember that. So those are very important issues that some of them will be addressed in the regulations. As for the comments, I think even the UTM also supports this bill, and you are supporting the objectives of this bill and what it wants to achieve. You have also differentiated what the consequences of having poor economic advice or policy. And I'm sure, as you have said, you have seen those cases where you would actually see that this is not good advice. And I think we all are witnesses of that. So that's exactly what you want to avoid. In terms of definition, I'm sure the chairperson, the co-chairperson has clarified on the definition, because I can, if you allow me, I can comment on the definition. I think there's a definition of it says here, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, the economist means a person who has at least a bachelor's degree in economics or applied economics. Applied because you can have an industrial economist, you can have an agricultural economist, you can have, I think we have those economists because they're applied, and those are called economists. But that degree has to be obtained from an institution of higher learning accredited or recognized under the National Council for Higher Education. So I thought that covers your concerns, Honorable Member. You talked about we need to have a proper disciplinary mechanism. Until I agree with you, our view is that once we have this disciplinary committee or issued, we will make sure that we have independent people in there to address the concerns that you have mentioned. You talked about that we should also avoid misusing the monopoly power that you mentioned. I think the concerns raised by is that Lilongwe. No, I think Lilongwe supported the bill, and we are happy that also the concerns that the joint committees had raised have been addressed. Then we had Kasungu South. Again, I take it that it has been clarified in terms of registration. You can register without necessarily getting a license, so that you'll be paying annual fees. It was accommodating, as I said, those economists that have just finished college, but they cannot afford the fees, but they can still practice. No, they can still be employed and work without necessarily getting a license. And that is provided for, I think, in section, if I'm not mistaken, I think there's a section, I think 20, if you look at the bill, I think we have registration, I think in page 20, section 26 and 27, and the licensing is also separate on section 29. All that has been explained, but I think your advice is taken. And I know you are speaking from a base of knowledge and experience as our professor, so we respect your advice. Again, Mulanje West also supports this bill because of the objectives and what it is entailed to achieve. So with that, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to move that this bill, which has been overwhelmingly supported by the August House, I beg to move that this bill, Bill number 20 of 2026, a SOMA establishment, be read for the second time. I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Honourable Minister. Honourable members, we now have a motion on the floor. The motion is that Bill number 20 of 2026, Economic Society of Malawi, be read a second time. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried.
Item 4B, government business, bills, committee stage, bill number 20 of 2026, Economics Society of Malawi.
Thank you very much. When the honorable member for Zomba Malosa said about women power, I was looking at the portfolios. The honorable member mentioned is a very senior leader of that house. And immediately she leaves her seat, that house, the hierarchy of leadership is going to diminish. She's the deputy whip of that side of the house, and the whip is not in the house, I therefore recognize the Honorable Chairperson of Trade and Industry Committee, who is also an economist, to come and chair this committee stage.
Honorable members, welcome to committee stage of Bill number 20 of 2026, Economic Society of Malawi. I wish to inform you that so far, the chair seated here has not received any notice of proposed amendment on the bill. If no one wishes to speak, I now put the question. The question is, clauses 1 to 56 stand part of the bill. Those of that opinion say aye, and may those of the contrary opinion say no. The yes have it, and the motion is carried. I'll do better. I'll do better. Honorable members, I wish to inform you that this bill has one schedule. I now put that schedule 1 stand part of the bill. Those of that opinion say aye, and those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is carried. Honorable members, we've now come to the end of the committee stage of Bill number 20 of 2026, Economic Society of Malawi. Thank you very much for your active participation. Thank you.
Congratulations.
Item 4B, government business, bills, report stage, bill number 20 of 2026, Economics Society of Malawi.
Thank you. I now call upon the Honourable Minister of Finance to report on the bill. Honourable Minister of Finance, you have the floor, sir.
Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I beg to report that Bill number 20 of 2026, Economic Society of Malawi, a SOMA bill, has passed through a committee stage without amendments. And therefore, I beg to move that the Bill number 20 of 2026, a SOMA, or Economic Society of Malawi, be read for the third time. I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Honour Minister. Honour members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is that the third reading of Bill number 20 of 2026, Economic Society of Malawi, be taken today. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it and the motion is carried.
Item 4B, government business, bills, third reading, Bill number 20 of 2026, Economics Society of Malawi.
Honourable Minister for third reading.
Thank you very much, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. I beg to move that Bill number 20 of 2026, Economic Society of Malawi, be read for the third time and passed. I beg to move.
Thank you, Honour Minister. Honour members, we have a motion on the floor coming from the Honour Minister of Finance. Therefore, I put the question that the Bill number 20 of 2026, Economic Society of Malawi, be read a third time and passed. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, and the motion is passed, and the bill has passed. Thank you very much, Honour members. Let me request the Honourable Leader. The motion that was passed this morning was that after the government is exhausted the business, they will revert back to private members. So I need that motion to come from government if you have exhausted all the business, so that private members' business. Yeah, Deputy Leader, you have the floor, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. Just to say that the day was given to government in totality, and it is now a government day. So you will allow us, after the Honourable Minister has, after the bill has passed, we will come back with guidance. I submit in that manner. I will submit in that manner. So it is for us to determine. The bill has already gone. Ah, okay. No, thank you very much. I wasn't. That was too quick.
So, Deputy Leader, if your government still has business,
let me come in.
You can now provide guidance.
And my apologies. My apologies. It was a slip of the head. Slip of the head, indeed. Mr. First Deputy Speaker, I think it has been a marathon of a day. Members have been here since morning, and we have made our contributions, and the contribution has been wonderful, awesome. And the debate, the quality of the debate is outstanding. And I think this session, this parliament has been outstanding. I think it's one of the best cohort of parliaments Malawi has ever had. This is my second time. This is my second time to be in this house, but I'm amazed with the quality of the debate. And because of that, we would want to guide in this manner that that I thank all of you, honorable members, and through you, Mr. First Deputy Speaker, sir, and also to recognize the Honorable Minister of Finance for ably presenting the bills. With that, I would want to beg that we adjourn early to allow members to prepare for tomorrow. Now, the business for tomorrow is going to be as such that we are going to tackle questions for oral replies from ministers, and also we proceed to tackle presentation of delegation reports, particularly the report of the Malawi delegation, the report of the Malawi delegation to the 152nd Inter-Parliament Union IPU General Assembly and related meetings, which was held in Istanbul, Turkey from 15th to 19th April 2026, appearing already on the order paper, but as business for next day. Again, we will also tackle a report by the Ministry of Energy. She will deliver her report, a ministerial report, in the House. And afterwards, a response. Okay, this is a response from, which is a report responding on questions. So this is the Minister of Mining. It's Minister of Mining, sorry, because I'm just getting the information just now. And immediately after that, then we're going to go into adjournment formalities. But before I move a motion, because we are going to be preparing for tomorrow, I would want, with power, to invite honorable members to advise them that we should meet in the room that Public Accounts Committee meets. 251 to prepare for tomorrow. With that, and all of us, it's all of us because we need to prepare all of us for tomorrow, that is. With that, allow me, Mr. First, and you are also invited, Mr. First Deputy Speaker. With that, let me now move a motion that the House adjourns early to allow the honorable members to prepare for tomorrow. I beg to move.
Thank you very much, Deputy Leader. Honour members, we have a motion on the floor. The motion is that the House do adjourn earlier for honour members to prepare for the business tomorrow, and considering that last night, majority of us, after the win, we did not sleep because the Scorchers won, it took us to the streets in celebration. I therefore put the question. Those of that opinion say aye. Those of the contrary opinion say no. The ayes have it, the motion is carried. Honour members, before we adjourn, there is an announcement coming from the Honourable Chairperson of the Youth Caucus. The Youth Caucus is reminding its members that tomorrow you have an important activity after adjournment where you are visiting Kamuzu Central Hospital, Lions Department. Let me encourage you all not to miss tomorrow, Youth Caucus, and bring what you have been asked to bring. The dress code, you know what you have agreed. Dress to kill tomorrow so that the youth can represent us well. Honorable members, the other announcements, I think they were already handled by the Right Honorable Speaker, but because they are still here, I don't know if the announcement on Chigudu Football Club was already attended to. It was. Thank you very much. So this was the only announcement that was remaining. It is 15:30 in the afternoon. Honorable House, I therefore adjourn proceedings to tomorrow, 9:30 in the morning. Tomorrow, Friday, the 7th of August, 2026 at 9:30 in the morning. House adjourned.
Well, on that note, the House has concluded its business for today, Thursday, the 6th of August, 2026. The House has today passed 4 bills, and these are Bill number 17 of 2026, Deposit Insurance Corporation Amendment. The bill seeks to amend the Deposit Insurance Corporation Act of 2022 in order to align the act with the phasing out of the usage of checks as a payment system in Malawi. The second bill that the House considered and passed is Bill number 18 of 2026, Payment Systems Amendment. The bill seeks to amend the Payment Systems Act in order to align the act with the phasing out of the usage of checks as a mode of payment in Malawi. The third bill was Bill number 19 of 2026, Financial Crimes Amendment. The bill seeks to amend the Financial Crimes Act in order to align the act with the phasing out of the usage of checks as a mode of payment in Malawi. The proposed amendments in the 3 bills came about as a consequence of the payment system reform proposed under the Bills of Exchange Amendment Bill of 2026, and finally, Bill number 20 of 2026, Economics Association of Malawi. This bill seeks to establish the Economic Society of Malawi, ESOMA, as an independent body of economists which shall register, regulate, and discipline economists in Malawi. The bills were passed following the adoption of reports by the Joint Parliamentary Committee on Legal Affairs and Budget, which had considered and scrutinized them. At the moment, the First Deputy Speaker of Parliament, Honorable Victor Musowa MP, has adjourned the House until tomorrow, Friday, the 7th of August, 2026 at 9:30 a.m. as the House is expected to adjourn, sine die, or to say indefinitely. Menemo ndi momwe zayendera zokambirana za phungu lero lachinayi pa 6 August 2026. Nyumba ya Malamulo yakambirana ndi kuvomereza mabilu anayi, ndipo mabiluwa ndi bilu number 17 ya 2026 yokhudza kukonza malamulo a bungwe la boma lotchedwa Deposit Insurance Corporation lomwe limateteza ndalama zomwe anthu amasunga m'mabanki. Ndipo bilu yachiwiri ndi bilu number 18 ya 2026 yomwe ndi yokhudza kukonza ndondomeko zolipirira mdziko muno kutsatira kusiya kapena kuthetsa kugwiritsa ntchito cheke polipira katundu komanso ntchito. bilu iyi adzakamba ka mavuto omwe analipo pogwiritsa ntchito cheke polipira. Ina ndi bill number 19 ya 2026 Financial Crimes Amendment. Bilu iyi ndiyokhudza kusintha lamulo loona za milandu yokhudza za chuma kuti ligwirizane ndi kusintha kwa ndondomeko zolipirira mdziko muno zomwe zathetsa kugwiritsa ntchito cheke, komanso yachinayi komanso yomaliza kwa lero inali bill number 20 ya 2026 Economic Society of Malawi. Bilu iyi ikufuna kukhazikitsa bungwe loyima palokha loyang'anira komanso kukhala ndi kaundula wa anthu ogwira ntchito za chuma mdziko muno lotchedwa Economic Society of Malawi, ESOMA. Nyumbayi yavomereza mabiluwa kutsatira malipoti a komiti yoona za malamulo pamodzi ndi komiti yoona za budget atatha kuwaunika. Pakadali pano achiwiri oyamba kwa spika a nyumba ya malamulo olemekezeka a Victor Musowa MP ayimitsa zokambiranazi kufikira mawa lachisanu pa 7 August 2026 nthawi ya 9:30 mawa, pomwe nyumbayi ikuyembekezeka kumaliza zokambirana zake. M'malo mwa anzanga onse kuno ku Parliament Broadcasting munali ndi ine Rachel Gonani.